Hello luminaries, welcome to the Mishi Uma. Please join us as we browse Reddit.
This story was brought to us by Beans Boy. Over the last year, I lived in my fraternity house on campus. The first semester that house was filled up, and since I was one of the last to get into the lease, I had to take a bad room with several roommates. The room was the size of a garage with a bunk bed, my elevated bed, and a bed on the floor. We also had a couch, TV, and 2 fridges. My bed was closest to the couch. All of my roommates and I had the same friends, so I could typically find around 7 to 12 people in my room on a given day. In the beginning of the year, my parents loaded me up with snacks to last a while. Some stuff was perishable, a roll of bagels, but most wasn't. Now, I kept my food under and above my bed. I was consistently eating my food that was under the bed, but not as much as the food that's above. Eventually, after a while, my roommates started to eat my food when they got the munchies, basically every other day. I confronted them about it and they denied it and or apologized, and paid me back sometimes. One day before dinner I came into the room and noticed someone had eaten my Doritos. I was pissed because I specifically had saved those for later that night and stuck them in a drawer. Seeing the crumbs on the ground and the drawer slightly broken, I was pissed. I confronted the 9 other people in the room and they all denied it. Conveniently, dinner was ready, so we all walked downstairs. But I was still pissed. I had to go to a meeting immediately after dinner, so I ate quickly and went upstairs to change into a suit. While changing, I hatched my trap. I took a piss in the bag of Doritos and left it visible next to my bed. I closed the bag and then went to my meeting. When I came back from the meeting, my roommates confronted me about the bag. They were pissed because the room smelled like urine. I saw that the bag wasn't in the room anymore and I asked how they knew it was urine. 2 of my friends, not roommates but were in the room before dinner, had eaten the pissed Doritos. The whole house was divided on whether I was in the right or wrong about overreacting to them. Eventually, one of my roommates, who was notorious for stealing, said he respected what I did. And I haven't had anything stolen from me ever again. For you, the revenge was sweet. For them, it likely tasted of asparagus.
This was posted by Maniacally Grinning. Hi y'all. This was years ago, at Christmas time at Target. I had just given birth to my daughter and ran to the store to get diapers, and a moment of peace. I parked in Bumfreak, Egypt, walked past a zillion cars, and saw a woman slowly driving past all the full disabled spots. She is almost in tears, so I walk up and ask if she is okay. She explodes in tears, saying she is in a wheelchair and needs a disabled spot, but they are all taken by folks who don't have disabled placards. I see a spot about to open up and hold it for her. She parks, thanks me, and I go into the store to tell them about the illegal disabled parking. The Target lady says, "Yep, happens all the time." She makes an announcement to the store asking folks to move their cars. I ask if I can use her phone. I call the police. Our city is large, but I swear the cops are bored. So, if you make a call, they send everyone. I say, "Hi, it's Maniacally Grinning, calling from Target. We have 18 disabled spaces and only one has a legal placard. Can you rustle up some officers and fix this?" Literally 8 minutes later, about 20 cops and at least 20 tow trucks were at Target, and it was like a ballet. I've never seen tow trucks hook up and drive away so quickly and in complete synchronicity. Within about 20 minutes, all the cars were gone and there were cops standing in front of the disabled spots. After getting the stuff I needed, and some Christmas candy, because candy, I was walking back to my car. I saw what the cops were doing. When someone came with their baskets full of bags, searching for their car, an officer would call out, "Who has the 92 yellow Sentra?" The illegal parkers would be directed to an officer, be given a $345 ticket and the address of the impound place. And each cop said, "Merry Christmas" to them. Ouch. Now, I know it was a D-move to do this at the holidays, but at the time I weighed the rudeness of the folks illegally parking in necessary disabled spots. Because folks think, I'm just popping in for a minute, or some other lame and ableist thought, against the true need that the disabled driver has. Just an extra tidbit, both my kids are now adults and both are disabled. Prior to this incident, I had never thought much of being disabled. Now I'm a full-time advocate for the disabled. Edit. Thank you all for the support of disabled drivers. As you can tell, I like exclamation points. A few folks thought I was excited because I had disabled kids, because of the exclamation point. I'm excited my kids are so great, regardless of disability grin. I love all the energy in the replies. This happened over 20 years ago, So now I use the parking mobility app that several responders mentioned. It is fantastic. This is bordering on pro-revenge. Those officers worked with cruel and calculated efficiency. I was curious, so I looked up the parking mobility app. It allows users to report disabled parking abuse. It is easy to use and from use stories, very effective. This was posted by Curly-Haired Butthole. So, ladies and gentlemen, I started my petty journey at the mere age of 2 when my very natural curly hair started to grow and flourish. Yes, I was blessed with the curls of an angel, and I have had many compliments, such as being compared to the female version of Brian May. This guy. He is the lead guitarist of Queen and an astrophysicist. Okay, back to it. However, having such hair comes with its disadvantages. Many members of the public think it's okay to grow, pull and finger my hair just because of its natural exterior. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've had balding men, young children and middle-aged women fist my hair, bloody ruffle it and freaking pull it. At least buy me dinner first, Susan. Well, no more. I decided that if someone were to touch me, they were getting touched right back. Every time some unfortunate soul waltzed their way over to touch the magnificent locks, a sickening smile crept onto my face. I have caressed many arms, I have ruffled many hairs, I've even gone as far as bopping someone on the head when they pulled my curl to watch it spring back up. I truly give no freaks anymore, and it's glorious. The looks on their faces is always hilarious, as they don't expect to be touched back even after invading my personal space. As of right now, my reign is on hold. But surely enough I'll be back on the streets. Public service announcement. Do not touch people without permission, it's rude and uncomfortable as crap. This story was brought to us by Faco. My ex-boyfriend of some time ago used to work as a dog trainer in his free time and vacation period while we were in college. The week after Christmas, one of the most spoiled, misogynist, and obnoxious guys my ex had ever met in his life came to the training center, demanding they teach his new purebred Dalmatian puppy the basic course. He boasted off on how the dog would become a champion in no time once he grew up. The guy was extremely rude during the whole inscription process and treated the employees like trash. When he saw my ex's coworker, an 18-year-old girl, he wolf whistled at her. That 2-note whistle you use for something sexy, and called her Mami Rica, Spanish for hot mama. She ran into hiding, but they couldn't do more, as this was a high-paying customer, and confronting him and losing the sale would have gotten them in trouble with their boss. On top of being a rude butthole, the guy just left the puppy in the center for almost 2 weeks straight and paid the training and hotel beforehand, ignoring the fact that it's always recommended that the owner stays during the lessons. Thanks to his douchebag behavior, my ex decided to give him a little payback and offered himself to train the little dog during the whole stay. He did it perfectly and by the norm. Nothing wrong in there, but added a little surprise for the owner. When the guy came back, my ex showed him the whistle he had to use for calling the puppy from far away. It was the wolf whistle. The man was furious and tried using other sounds, but once a puppy learns a command, it's almost impossible for him to relearn it. He was stuck with a $2,000 dog, who will only come when he wolf whistled at him. Something really interesting to see at a competition or even out in a public park, to say the least. He obviously filed a complaint against my ex, but the damage was done, and my ex just got a warning. And don't worry for the puppy. The guy kept him and still used the center's hotel from time to time. But as far as my ex knew, the little guy was not entered in any professional contest, and even after 6 months he still answered only to the wolf whistle. Your ex-boyfriend was a legend. Every time that rich guy calls his dog, he looks like the complete creep he actually is. This story was brought to us by Kira Zero. This story was altered to improve grammar and syntax. So, a little bit of background: I'm 19 years old, living with my parents and my little brother, 7 years old. He's nice but sometimes gets on my nerves. My parents can be nice but usually are prattling about how useless a person I am and how I'm only a loser who will never achieve anything, and so on. I get up around 5 a.m. from Monday to Friday, and go to school without even seeing them. I travel to school by train, about 3 hours daily, so I get back from school at 7 p.m. Then I have to study, and do housework. So, basically if I want free time, I have to stay up late. So, I get to sleep just 3 to 5 hours. The only time I get to sleep are weekends, but even then I have to get up at 8 a.m. Parents' rules. So, you get it. I treasure the sleep I get. But my parents get up around 7 a.m. and, especially my father, will start to play with my brother. That wouldn't be a problem if they didn't scream during it. My room is just between my parents and brothers, and the walls are paper thin. So, I can hear everything like it's in my room. Many times, I try to explain that I would love to sleep peacefully, and if they could just turn the volume down during the time I slept. The answer was no surprise to me.
No, we are just playing. Don't expect for me to keep it down while you sleep. It's not as if you need to be sleeping at that hour anyway.
Well, okay. You won't be quiet. I won't be nice. The revenge, so, as you know, I get up pretty early, and since I'm a girl I can do loud girly stuff. Such as blow drying my hair, taking shower in the morning. Not only girls do that, I know. So, since the bathroom is just next to their room, I started doing these things every single morning before school. So, their sleep was also shortened by 1 hour. Due to the fact that it was freaking loud, and I made sure every morning that I have the door to the bathroom wide open while I am blow drying my hair. When parents told me to be quiet, I've just said, don't expect for me to keep it down while you sleep. It's not as if you need to be sleeping at that hour anyway. They were mad, but it was worth it. Don't mess with someone's sleep when they get up earlier than you, most days. This is my first post and English is not my native language, so sorry for mistakes. Hope you will enjoy it. Kira 0, your revenge was deliciously petty. Though you should not push it too far, since you are living in your parents' house. Though on the other hand they levy disparaging comments toward you, so they clearly do not deserve the utmost of respect. Thank you for listening, luminaries. Kindly like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Lastly, please indulge me by pondering this. Be careful when deciding someone is your enemy, an enemy made is a friend forfeited. Until next time, luminaries.